Sympathy, empathy, and compassion. Three terms that we hear very commonly that actually have some pretty distinct meanings, and we're going to review them just for the purposes of making sure that we're all on the same page about what they mean, and so that you can better understand why I have chosen the term body empathy for what high body empathetics and neurotypicals experience, and emotion sharing empathy for what autistics experience. To simplify, sympathy is cognitive, empathy is emotional, and compassion is behavioral. Both autistics and non-autistics experience all three of these, but they experience them differently. This is really important because the different ways that autistics and non-autistics experience sympathy, empathy, and compassion really plays a big role in how neurodiverse families function. So in order to really comprehend neurodiverse family systems, it's important to understand the differences between the way autistics and non-autistics experience sympathy, empathy, and compassion. Let's start with sympathy. Basically, sympathy is a cognitive understanding of what others are feeling. It basically means that you can imagine where another person might be coming from. You can know cognitively why someone might be feeling happy, sad, or angry. And you might not feel that emotion with them, but you understand cognitively where it's coming from. That is sympathy. So, since sympathy is cognitive, it could be compared to theory of mind. And as we know, autistics have theory of mind difficulties or mind blindness. So we could say that autistics have difficulties with sympathy. So sympathy is cognitive and empathy is emotional. And empathy basically means to feel what another person is feeling with them and to feel it emotionally. Both autistics and non-autistics experience empathy. Empathy is what is associated with the mirror neuron system. And both autistics and non-autistics have functioning mirror neuron systems. But their mirror neuron systems function differently. So it just makes sense, then, that their empathy would function differently too. And compassion is behavioral. At its Latin roots, it means to suffer with. Compassion is all about taking action. It is believed by many to be the culmination of cognitive sympathy and emotional empathy, and happens when someone decides to do something to alleviate another's pain, to be compassionate, or to take action. Both autistics and non-autistics have compassion, of course. They will both take action to alleviate others' pain and difficulties. And they will both do it in association with cognitive sympathy and emotional empathy. But it happens differently. So remember, sympathy is cognitive and it's associated with theory of mind. Autistics have difficulties with sympathy. Empathy is emotional and it's associated with the mirror neuron system. And compassion is behavioral. It's about taking action. Autistics and non-autistics all have sympathy, empathy, and compassion, but they experience them differently.